Verse 64. There is something which is nowhere to be seen by anybody as the Skandhas, causation, enlightenment of that which is nowhere to be seen by anybody. What description can we make? Now this follows on very closely from verse 63, which I covered in the previous video, and I recommend, if you haven't listened to that one, then do so before this one. So we're looking now at what is beyond cognition, what is beyond our senses and measurement. And there are three things here: Skandhas, causation, and enlightenment. And Skandhas is the analysis of the individual into various components. They were covered in video 13. In other words, there's no ego, no personal psychology, no individual, no soul. This was a deconstruction of the individual. Causation refers to the external world, or the material world, the world of cause and effect. And in previous videos we've been concerned with not only deconstructing notions of the individual, but undermining the apparent physicality of the world. And enlightenment here would refer to the relationship between these two, between the individual and the world. Hopefully, once we've deconstructed notions of the individual, deconstructed notions of the world, we become enlightened. But there's more to it than that. We deconstruct notions of the world, notions of the individual, to stop us from investing any reality in them. But this should only really be done once we've touched reality, once there's been the arising of some kind of insight to what is beyond conventional reality. Otherwise, enlightenment is nothing more than another notion, another thought construction, something which we're working hard for, something which we're striving for by doing lots of meditation and trying to be good and reading lots of books maybe, or perhaps even joining some kind of sect. So we cannot even describe it as enlightenment, because enlightenment is only in relation to limited notions or limited understanding of the individual and of the world. So we must be careful in talking about it, that we don't form concepts of it. And this is what these verses here are warning about. Verse 65 says, a proposition is established by means of conditions, reasons and examples, such as a dream, the Gandharva's castle, fire wheel, mirage, the moon, the sun. Verse 66, by such examples as flame, hair, etc., I teach that birth is something not to be recognized really as such. The world is something imagined, empty like a dream, or maya, which is error. So these are some of the examples the Buddha uses to point us in the correct direction, or to point us away from the wrong direction. We need to be pointed in the right direction, but we also need to be pointed away from the wrong direction. And this is what verse 65 is about. Dream. The world is described as like a dream. The Gandharva's castle, the original castles in the air. The fire wheel, when you whirl a firebrand round and it gives the effect of a solid circle, but it's not solid. A mirage. The moon, the sun. I don't know what specific examples the moon and the sun refer to. The only one I can think of is the finger pointing at the moon, not to confuse the finger with the moon itself. And the sun just seems to be that which is actually real. The sun's the source of the light. The moon too is the source of light, but it's not as consistent as the sun. It waxes and wanes. So it seems here we've got a succession of examples leading to that which is possibly more consistent and more real. In verse 66, by such examples as flame, hair, etc. Well, I imagine flame is the fire wheel once again. And hair is these little floating objects you see when you look at a clear blue sky. The little nerve endings, the ganglia. They float in front of the eye as if they're actually there. Well, they actually are there, but they're not outside in the world the way we normally understand it. This is an example that the Buddha's used. So the point being that we shouldn't take these things as having been born, as having come into existence, as having been something real. The world is something imagined. It's a thought construction. It's empty like a dream. In other words, it's got no essential substance. It's a delusion. It's maya. It's error. It's a thought construction which we erroneously ascribe reality to. Now, this isn't to pass a value judgment on it. The whole point here is to remain content in our realization of suchness, our own sense of being. Not to take too seriously what's going on outside or in the conventional reality. It's like engaging in a drama. We engage with the drama. We put ourselves into it. But part of us knows it's a drama. We can either be actors in that drama, or perhaps we're just watching something. When we're watching something, we get caught up in it, don't we? We get caught up in it. We can get upset by it. We can laugh, we can cry. But part of us knows it's only a drama. So this is what we need to remember. This is what these teachings are reminding us of. Engage with it, play along with it, but it's not real.